Hello. Second helping of Stephen Knight's hard-rocking World War II. After cutting a path of horror and destruction through the Axis forces in North Africa, the SAS returns for a second series. With the SAS founding father, David Stirling, now a prisoner of war in the medieval pile of Forte di Gavi, command of the unit has been delegated to Paddy Mayne, played with a kind of barely controlled lunacy by Jack O'Connell. The battalion is now charged with serving as the spearhead for the Allies' 1943 assault of Sicily and southern Italy. O'Connell gives a riveting and frequently blood-curdling performance, as Mayne makes it quite plain what his goals are and what he thinks of the military's upper brass's blundering obliviousness. He enjoys poetry and frequently speaks in blank verse with a rich and powerful Ulster accent. He is unwaveringly committed to locating and defeating the adversary, and he appears to have an incredible ability to suppress any feelings of fear or self-doubt. According to him, most of my men are quite keen to live, whereas I am at best equivocal. The unit has been redesignated the Special Raiding Squadron, though only temporarily, and it is now assigned very dangerous assignments such as landing ashore in the early hours of the morning to destroy enemy gun sites before the main attack force arrives. An early example of this sees them sailing through waters teeming with British paratroopers whose gliders have crashed into the sea, and despite the survivors' heartbreaking calls for help, Mayne's team must disregard them and carry on. Despite his ironclad bravado, Mayne understands how these kinds of experiences will haunt them in the future, and several episodes examine the themes of combat exhaustion and post-traumatic stress. One of the new series' primary set pieces is the battle for the strategically crucial Italian town of Termoli, where our courageous men find themselves vastly outnumbered as they confront an onslaught of German tanks and artillery. They manage to cling on by the skin of their teeth, despite the fact that the crafty Germans have secreted an artillery spotter in the church tower who calls down shellfire on the British positions, but it is the timely arrival of two SAS and their bazookas that eventually tip the scales. This additional SAS regiment is led by David Stirling's brother Bill, played by Gwilym Lee, as a solidly professional officer who must walk a fine line between the rigid dictates of Army HQ and the freewheeling anarchy of Mayne's soldiers as they play the military equivalent of baseball. Though the new European setting removes some of the exotic charm of the earlier Middle Eastern locations, there is still the recurring presence of cunning French agent Eve Mansour. Eve, having wheedled her way into the confidences of the louche British spymaster Dudley Wrangle Clark back in the perfumed fleshpots of Cairo, while also embarking on an affair with David Stirling, keeps miraculously appearing all over the Italian battlefield, flying the flag for the Free French and ensuring that General de Gaulle is not elbowed out of the strategic picture by the Allies. When she arrives at an appropriate time with a shipment of flamethrowers, the guys are undoubtedly grateful. A somewhat unscrupulous General Montgomery makes a cameo appearance, and there's an entertaining subplot starring John Tonkin, who demonstrates himself to be not only intrepid but also phenomenally lucky when confronted with Hitler's new directive that all captured commandos will be shot, whether or not they're in uniform. And there's an unrepentant setup for Season 3, as we accompany our soldiers aboard the Dakota aircraft that will drop them over Normandy on June 6, 1944. Oi! Stephen Knight. Have you written it yet? Thank you for watching.